Welcome back to Turbo Fire Garage. Today we will be going over the heads for the 327 and how they turned out. When going from a 327 to a 383, the engine is going to want a lot more volume of air. So in order to help with that, I did my best to port mat the intake and exhaust as much as I possibly could. And this is kind of what I came up with. I am going to keep the 194 1.5 valves, and even though the motor could benefit from 202s and 16s, the amount of money that I would have to spend to accomplish that is just not going to be worth it. So what I've decided to do instead is just do the best I possibly can in porting, and we'll get some more velocity out of that, and it should work pretty well, even though it's not going to get us the highest horsepower numbers. This was a lot harder to do since the runners are so long. I did not have the proper equipment to get all the way in there, so there's a little bit that is unported. But the biggest thing is the port openings and the bowl area, which I did get. So those look pretty good, and that's going to give us about as much flow as we can out of these heads here. The combustion chambers just need cleanup. All of the port work is done on that. And the valves over here, the exhaust valves, some of these are original GM, though the exhaust valves, as you go down, do get darker and darker. So I'm not exactly sure what's happening there, but if you know, please drop it in the comments. Here we have our 461 heads for the 383 stroker build, and I am lapping the valves. It's important to lap valves to prevent any combustion chamber leaks. I've completed the exhaust ones here. I just finished this one, and I still have this one to go. I just got finished lapping the valve on the left. When these came back from the machine shop, I was told that the centers were high, and they had to take 12 thousandths out of them in order to get them perfectly flat. With them doing that, and machining both the heads and the block perfectly flat, I can use my 28 thousandths head gaskets. That will get me the quench that I want, and also it'll get my compression ratio right about 10.5 to 1, which is great for this application. I'm going to finish lapping these valves, and then I will assemble the heads. Here we have our finished, ready to bolt on heads. I did have to pin the rocker studs because I decided to go with a different camshaft, and it required a spring change. The camshaft that I chose is a little bit bigger than the L79 camshaft. It has just a little bit more duration. Instead of 222, this is 231 and 235. And the lift is 476 and 494 if I was to use the same 1.5 rockers. But since I'm going with a 1.65 rocker to get the extra lift, you times the lobe lift by the rocker arm ratio, and that gives us 543 on the lift. I had to change the valve springs to accommodate that, and I went with some Speedway springs. They accommodate up to 550 lift, and they have a seat pressure of 125 and an open pressure of 325, which is why I had to pin the rocker arm studs. Otherwise, they would pull out. A lot of people give flat tappet camshafts a bad rap because of quality issues. What we have here is a set of the in-house Delta camshaft. They call them no-fail lifters. They have this notch right there. And what that does is it provides extra oiling to the tip and camshaft on every single stroke, and that helps to prevent the camshaft from going flat. So with that, one more piece of the puzzle has been put together and ready to start assembling the engine.